this is very unlike me. Like, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm recording myself and shit. No, it's not me. But over the past like month, I feel like I've realized that this is something that maybe I should try at least, because like as Saya is growing, I find myself in more and more opportunities that require me to speak, and I obviously hate speaking. It's just like who I am. Like, I don't talk, like it's just not my thing, and I have a hard time with it. And so like having more of these opportunities, I feel like I should start practicing more, but also like feeling more empowered in my speech lah, you know, because I've never felt empowered with my talking. Like, I always just see that as like bad. Myra talk bad. I've always just seen it like that, but I really want to change that. But I also want to show you like all the awesome printed matter I have. So I'm gonna talk about the zines I have, posters and art prints that I have in my collection. So I think we can start with zines. So I want to start with this zine by Shu. So I've been following her work for a while. It's just really striking. Like, I don't really see work like this in Malaysia. And I just feel like her artistry is so unique and worth paying attention to. So yeah, this is Shu Huahua's zine, and it came with this art card, and this is basically just macam the beginning of MCO. You know, everyone was like, stay home, blah blah blah. So yeah, this is it. So it came with this, and this is what the zine looks like. It looks so rabak because my cats, they like spilled water on it and then macam duduk-duduk on it and just like fucking like went at it. Like, this is such an amazing piece of work, and my cats are demons. So like, let's go through this book. So these are the pages of it, and what I love about Shu's work is that is the colors for one, but they're sort of like nostalgic, and they show you the beauty of like everyday life, I guess. So there's like this girl brushing her hair and like doing weird shit, but it's just so beautiful. It's like an everyday thing, you know, you brush your hair every day, but like it's just, Shu makes it really beautiful. Like, it's honest, like every time I open it, it's sort of like I just get really macam, I don't know, it's just so good. It's so good. Like, everyone should have this. Yeah, so this is We're Not Coming Back by Shu Huahua on Instagram. And you guys should, I don't know if she still makes them, but if she does, then you should definitely check her out. This next zine, Kunyit Squared Volume 1, Queer Malaysian Writing. The zine maker Kunyit Squared, they have a podcast as well, which is really fun to listen to. They also talk about like more serious things about like being queer in Southeast Asia, but they also are really in touch with like pop culture, especially if you follow their Twitter. So yeah, if you don't follow Kunyit Squared, you should. So this is just a zine about like queer experiences in Malaysia, some stories, and yeah, so there's one titled How I Come to Terms in Being Gay and Muslim. So it does touch on like serious topics, and I don't know if they make this anymore, but you should definitely go check out Kunyit Squared. And then I have this zine by Gwendoline, Esther. Hey, I met her at Cempaka Collective. They did like a zine night thingy, so it was like everyone just got together and then we made like artwork, and then they compiled everything and then put it in one zine. And it was a really fun night. That was my first time attending a Cempaka Collective event, and it was really nice. Like, everyone was really welcoming, and so I met Gwen, and then I bought Gwen's zine. So it's called Fragments of a Would-Be Fairytale, the Graveyard Ghoul, and the Journeywalker Who Loved Her. Gwen uses macam different literary forms to tell the story, and so if you don't know who Gwen is, you should definitely check her out. She has done a bunch of other zines, and yeah, I think she's an exciting writer that we should be paying attention to. Now that we've talked about like Cempaka Collective and stuff, the next set of zines I'm going to show you is all from Cempaka Collective. So I have these with me, and they're called, one is Whole Lover, about dating and friending sex workers. One's called Anarchy and Alcohol. This one's called Keep on Marching, the stories of Women's March. And then this is Tentang Identity, Gender, dan Individu, dan Komuniti Transgender. So yeah, and then the other one I bought was, I don't remember exactly what it's called because I gave it to my boyfriend, but it was basically like anarchism within the context of like how men can be like better allies, I guess, and how men can use their privilege to make the world better for like everyone besides them. So let's talk about this one first. So I really like this zine because I feel like it's a valuable resource. A lot of the resources we have about gender diverse people and transgender people are mostly in English, and it's hard to find resources in Malay. And in this zine, you can find like terms to use, so like jantina or sex, orientasi sexual, pronouns, lepas tu like penggunaan bahasa yang bermasalah, and then there's also like case studies, and then there's laws that criminalize gender identities and expressions in Malaysia, and then at the end here they made this berong gender. It tells you the differences between like gender identity, sexual orientation, gender, and then gender expression. So it tells you all this and how to differentiate between one thing and another through the form of a bear, which I feel like is really helpful. This is Keep on Marching. It's about the 2019 Women's March, and I didn't get to attend this one, but I got to attend the 2021 thankfully before Corona and stuff. Yeah, so my experience at the 2020 Women's March was really empowering and safe, and it went really well, but I can't say the same for the people that attended the 2019 one. A lot of participants were harassed, so I feel like the 2019 one, for like organizers, participants, and just like people who went, I feel like it was really like a anxious time. Like even I didn't attend, but I could see on social media and like through like media narratives macam how they were like just demonized. This zine touches on that. So like how different media framed the march differently, for example. It also has like official remarks from NGOs that attended, and it also has like first-hand accounts of people's experiences at the march. So it's not all sad and discouraging, but it's also empowering as well. This one is Anarchy and Alcohol. My knowledge of anarchy is very surface, and I wanted to like read about anarchism in a context where it was more personalized and more like lived in, if that makes sense. So it does that lah. So basically it's just about, it really does talk about anarchism and alcohol and macam its relationship, some stereotypes that anarchists are often subjected to. And then there's a title in here, Alcohol and Sex in Rape Culture, and then there's Revolution, and then there's How Civilization Came to Fiends. So it's a lot, but I mean it's a really enlightening read. This one, the last one, Whole Lover, about dating and friending sex workers. So just some of the titles in here. Why Sex Workers Rock, about having difficult conversations, and then challenging misconceptions about sex work and violence. And I really wanted to read this because, again, like, I really wanted a resource that really enlightened me about the ways in which you approach relationships with, like, sex workers, for example. These are the things that I don't know and I'm not educated about. So this is a really handy zine to have. And then this one is special because this was from our first fundraiser yang jadi, yang didn't get cancelled, at Safe House. So we shared a table with Amna and Zines. So they have this Instagram account where they sell stickers, they sell zines, and just printed method as well. And so this is one of the zines that they sold at the fundraiser, Quaranzine. There's just like really beautiful illustrations. They're awesome, you should check them out. And the last zine we have is issue 0 by your girl's very own Cyan Magazine. So this was made for our initial fundraising event that got cancelled because of Corona. So it was made for that, and it basically includes all 7 days of Saya entries. So when I started Saya, I asked like my friends and just basically the people I knew, like, hey, I'm starting this thing, do you want to contribute? 7 days of Saya, that's what I'm launching with. So I was looking for 7 people that would contribute their stuff. And so basically all of that is in here, as well as some other work that wasn't from 7 days of Saya. On the first page here, you can see an illustration that I did, and just like a short like description and blah 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 blah. So I made this illustration because one of the inspirations for Saya is looking at apartment windows from afar. It's like a window to another person's world, and every window represents like someone's different life, someone's different home. So sort of like that individuality in like a collective space. Yeah, that was an inspiration for Saya. But in here you can find my entries. One's called I'm a hairy girl in a hairless world. I basically talk about like being a hairy girl in a world where being hairless is the ideal, a world where we often see like sexist shaving ads, you know. And then another one I did was if Stanford Raffles was a teenage girl, and this is me just like having fun and like bashing Stanford Raffles basically. But yeah, so there are entries by Tunku Muhammad about like breaking the stigma on drugs and how like drugs have been demonized, but he brings up the argument of how like hallucinogens and psychedelics have served the purpose in a lot of cultures as ways to find yourself or ways to become more connected with God. So there's that, and then there is an entry by my friend Angel. There's an entry by my friend Faris, which is so awesome, and then there's one by my friend Asya, The Feminization of Labor, which is really good as well. It's a nice beginner's resource to have on feminization of labor. And then there's also poetry by Madam Blossom, and then there's like a short story. There's an entry by Transvaal Gerbra titled Hawa, and it's based on the movie that's titled the same thing, and it's just about being in a relationship with like someone of the same sex in a Malaysian context. There's also an entry by my friend Safa. It's called Criminals Disguised as Hopeless Romantics, a Hollywood love story. It's just about how like in Hollywood movies they sort of justify like creepy behavior that the lead actors show just because like they're in love, or just because they're like these nerds, and so kesian lah, like they're not creeps, they're just nerds that are obsessed with this woman. So it sort of like justifies their inappropriate behavior, and how often Hollywood does that and how it's so normalized. And then at the back here So at the back of this zine, ada macam a few empty pages for you to put your own entries, because that's like the spirit of Cyan. We want input from everyone lah. We want everyone to have a space for the input, and I feel like these empty pages really represent that. But so my first personal entry was just this like scrapbook I made, and this was like during peak Dalgona, during peak super lonely TikTok dance, and then I did this like this Matisse print when I wanted to try out lino cutting, and so this is what I did with my lino pad. So yeah, that's issue 1. Okay, so let's start with the prints I got from the Artpassa family. Okay, let's start with this one. This is by Ummar, and this is one of my favorite works of his. Like I went to his house one day and he was working on this lah, so he was working on it. It was like much bigger than this, so this is A4. He was working on it on A3, and I just really liked it because I feel like at that point he hadn't really done anything like this yet, so it's really different, and I really loved it, and it's titled Nasi Lemak, I think, but I know it was inspired by Nasi Lemak. But yeah, I was really excited when he announced that he was gonna make prints of it, because I love it. Like, it's one of my favorite Ummar pieces. And then staying within the Artpassa family, we have these prints by Ilham. So let's do this one first. The Matrix of Dreams. I just love the colors and the concept of it. Like like I would not have thought of like visualizing dreams like this. Your brain has to be so A+ to be able to do this. And like I love the colors. And this is another one I got. It's called Are You Home? And I love it. It's sort of dark. I feel like this is a dead person. It could just be someone chilling in their bath, but I feel like this is someone that that did something to themselves, but I don't know. So yeah, but I love this print. This one is by Azriq Anwar. It's called Wait for the Moment. And I love Azriq's stuff. And I really want to get more, but my boyfriend got this for me as a surprise one day, and I was so happy because I love Azriq's work, and I'm hoping to get more, but this is what I have so far. I found these by Afi. So Afi's booth was really attractive. As you walked past, you could see like her work, and it was so awesome. And like I had never really seen work like hers before, and so these are just 2 postcards that I have. I got these in a pack of 4. My boyfriend took one and my sister took one, so I have these 2. But these are just so awesome. Like Afi's art is the type of art that you put macam as a feature artwork on your wall at home, macam kat rumah orang kaya. And then we have these stickers. So at GMBB there was this table, so a bunch of friends from Johor, they opened a table and then they set up like a henna tattoo type of thing lah. And so me and my boyfriend got like henna tattoos, but they also were artists themselves. So one of them was called Marlis, and I bought these butterfly stickers from her, and I just really like them lah, sebab macam so cute. And then the last print that I have some to show you that are on my wall, but this is the last like loose print I have. It's by Azfah Zakaria. Azfah's work is so, it's like when you look at it, you know it's meaningful lah. So like this one, it's called Menatang Kuntum, and it's just so gentle and like so like I don't know how to describe it, like no words. It's just a feeling. Like I can't describe it in words. It's just a feeling that you get from like Azfah's work. And so this artwork is really special to me because he gave it to me for free, because like we had a talk about Saya and he was really excited to work with us, and he was like the first artist, I guess, the first artist that like bukan my friend, like I tak kenal, like a stranger, the first artist that like believed in Saya and was like excited for our project. And yeah, so this is really special to me. Okay, so now we have this poster that I designed for our fundraiser. The one you're seeing right now is the color version, the A3 version, but the versions we sold at the fundraiser were black and white, and they were much smaller, and I printed it with a Riso printer, and it was so exciting because it was my first experience with Riso printing, and I've always wanted to like Riso print, so it was really exciting. The next poster I want to show you is by Alicia Fairuz. When she posted this on her Instagram, I really loved it. And then when Safe House did their fundraiser, this was one of the posters that they were selling, and so I was really excited to buy it. It's definitely the biggest poster I have. It's A2, so it's really big, but I love it. And then the next few posters I have are just reprints of Tunku Muhammad's artwork, and it feels so weird to say his name like that because he's my boyfriend, but he's also an artist. Yeah, so my boyfriend makes art and I love his art, and I have a bunch of his prints just on my wall. He's actually selling his prints. You can get them in A4, A3, or whatever custom size you want. Just let him know and DM him. And if you get a print, you will get an art card that I designed. These art cards are just like a description of what the artwork means, blah blah blah. So I think that's it for this video. Oh my god, I feel so weird to say that because like who the fuck am I, right? Like who is this bitch trying to make videos and shit? But yeah, I think that's it. Bye. Please like make sure to check out all the artists I mentioned in this video. Definitely follow all of them, give them support, maybe buy some of their stuff, you know, support like local artists. It's really important. Yeah, that's it. Bye. Lol.